we started to approach the second half of the year, it seemed unlikely that we'd see many, if any, scare events on in 2020, especially with the lack of support shown by the government. There has been little or no protection for independent companies looking to put on a scare event in 2020, and therefore we were determined to support as many of those events as possible that went ahead in 2020. In this video today, I want to take a little look at some of the events we've done in October, talk about what positives can be taken into 2021, and show my appreciation for the actors who played their part in making it a very enjoyable but terrifying scare season in October 2020. In this weird world of COVID, a new type of scare attraction was born, the DriveThrough scare event. I experienced 2 of those. It should have been free, but the Wrexham Council intervened with allowing anyone to go and do Festival in Wrexham, or I should say, not allowing anyone to go. So that was pretty unfortunate, really. Fairfields at Thornton Hall Country Park was the first drive-through scare attraction I did. Originally, this was going to be a brand new Scream Park, Scream Fields, but it was postponed, and shortly after, Fairfields was being advertised. This scare attraction gave me the opportunity to do a scare attraction with my dad for the first ever time, which was amusing. You're always wary of taking someone to a scare event for the first time because you don't know how they'll react to it, especially when it's your dad. So all I was thinking the whole way there was, please like it. Fairfields was a strange one. I'm still not sure if we were supposed to have our windows down or up. They were down for the intro, but then we put them up because I expected in the time of COVID that they'd have to be closed, but a few times we were told to put them down. Also, my car doors kept auto-locking, which didn't help the flow of some of the acts. It's fair to say the whole thing was a learning experience for me and this kind of attraction. The scares and sets at Fairfields were excellent. I'm excited to see what they'll do if they do go ahead with a Scream Park in the future. Road to Hell was the second drive-through scare attraction that I experienced in 2020, but this time I was on my own, and it was the first ever time I'd done a scare attraction on my own. It's fair to say I am never, ever going solo to a scare attraction again. I was absolutely bricking it. Road to Hell was put together by Heart of England Horror and Area 51, both based in the Midlands, excellent people with great talent. The set pieces were absolutely stunning, the actors were fantastic, the acting was convincing and really had me edgy throughout the whole experience. I felt really uncomfortable driving through the dark woods with an eerie soundtrack playing in the car, which I'll link to in the description below, knowing that I was the only target for the scare actors to scare. Sticking with the theme of driving, my first scare attraction of the year was actually a drive-in cinema at Tully's Farm. Now I cannot speak highly enough of Tully's Shocktoberfest. It is the ultimate scare event in the UK, but it was understandably postponed in 2020. I was really pleased for the team there though when they announced that they would be doing the haunted drive-in cinema. I just knew they'd get it spot on, and they did. The roaming actors added so much to the experience. They were all fantastic. And then of course there was the fire and light show. All of that entertainment before you even watched the film. It really did give me Tully's Shocktoberfest vibes, and it really got me excited for the full Tully's experience when it can return safely. It's worth a mention too, at the end of Tully's haunted drive-in cinema, the roaming actors who you see before the film, they'll see you as you're leaving too. On to the Merlin Attractions, and I think with one of these, I'll probably need to bite my tongue, so I'll start with the one that I really enjoyed. Thorpe Park Fright Nights is a must-do scare event every year in the UK. It has evolved so much over the years when you think about stuff like the Asylum, Experiment 10 and the Big Top. Excellent mazes that have come and gone. The introduction of roaming actors and scare zones was fantastic. They made the event. They were without doubt the highlight. The interactions with the Buckwheat family in Creek Freaks Unchained really put a smile on my face. Not only did they have Mark down on the floor pretending to be a chicken, but they also had him running for his life several times. They also interacted with the rest of us so well. I can't remember the question that I was asked at one point, but I do remember answering Deadwood, which was met with some of the funniest bemusement I've ever seen from a scare actor. I think the Platform 15 train has to pull into the station and terminate. The idea, the story and the theme are superbly executed, but I just think it's all had its day now. Unfortunately, Roots of Evil didn't happen for me personally due to time slot issues with Platform 15. Scare zones, in my opinion, are the future of Fright Nights, but I really wouldn't turn down the Asylum making one last return. There was no Alton Towers Scarefest review video or vlog this year. I felt that it would probably cause some upset if we gave our honest opinions, and now I've had time to reflect, I can be a bit more objective about it all rather than just taking my opinions on the day as my overall feeling about Scarefest. I'll try to keep this short and as fair as possible because I want to be fair. The mazes were really good. Probably should have done the Junkyard maze after dark, but it was still okay. Altonville Mine Tours was excellent as ever. The set pieces in there are excellent, and I think the slower nature of the maze and the more spread out acting this year gave you a chance to really sort of appreciate how well set out that maze is. And as always, the acting in there was fantastic. That is a maze that really doesn't get tiresome. Darkest Depths was more of a family fun maze than a terrifyingly scary maze, unless you ask Mark, of course, who was terrified. And the Attic remains as a firm favourite for me. It's one of the best mazes that Merlin have come up with for a long time. It is just epic. My biggest frustration with Scarefest is the lack of atmosphere away from Tower Street. There is no feeling of this is Scarefest. It just feels like Alton Towers on any day of the year, but with year-round scare mazes. For me, it should be less mazes, more scare zones, more spooky smoke effects, probably more scary audio around the park, and that would probably help create a bigger, better atmosphere, which I feel is sorely missed at Scarefest. Bring back the Haunted Hollow. Now that was really good. I did not experience the retreat, but Chris and Gemma did, and let me say, editing the vlog was scary enough without experiencing the whole thing myself. During October, I also did an event called the Mannequin Safari. That was another one I did with my dad, who the whole way there was edgy about the mannequins because of past horror films he may have seen. The last scare event I did in 2020 was the Sessions House of Horrors in Spalding, which was terrifying in places, but excellently put together with some really good acting, and I really hope it returns in 2021. I'd really like to do it again, and I'd really like to put Mark in there, who could lead the group, and we could really get some great scares on camera there. I'm going to wrap it up there, but before I say goodbye to the scare industry in 2020, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's played their part in making the scare season a really good one despite of the troubles with COVID. All of the creative teams who have had to deal with ever-changing restrictions and situations have done a fantastic job. The actors have done excellently in the COVID circumstances. The mask wearing has not taken anything away from the scares, and that is a sign of how good every single actor has been. You have all done amazingly, and I wish each and every person involved in the scare industry the best of luck going forward. You will always have my support. You have the support of Pleasure Beach Experience. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Pleasure Beach Experience video.